At the Salvation Army, we have dozens of staff and hundreds of volunteers who serve our program participants in different and unique ways. Some of us plant seeds, others water seeds, but it's always God who gives the increase. In this week's news update, we have a feature on someone who's been planting seeds in a place where it's not always easy to see flowers bloom. 16 to 18 hours a week, Malik Shabazz, an ordained minister and certified substance abuse counselor, comes to the Salvation Army Emergency Shelter to meet with shelter residents and address their history with alcohol and substance abuse. Through a rough background of his own, Malik knows that not immediately is he going to see a flower bloom, but it's planting the seed towards recovery that's important.
A big part of my job is planting seeds. I was born and raised in Jackson Water. In my neighborhood, there was, drug addiction, there was alcoholism, there was crime. So as I grew up in that environment, I made some choices that were not too good choices. But after going through some things, I made some good decisions. Basically, it was to get my life together and to give back to the community. I got involved in a AIDS program, HIV program, prevention, going out into the communities, the same communities that I grew up in, and talking to people about being at high risk for HIV.
Malik is a firm believer in Romans 8:28 that says, "As we know that for those who love God, all things work together for the good, for those who are called according to his purpose." And Malik knows that through his rough background, God was working all things together through him so that he would be able to genuinely share his voice and his experience with others and lift them up.
Here in the shelter, we deal with a lot of people. One of the things that we try to do as staff is we try to tap into the value of people. What the things, the positive aspects, and the value that they have in a person, in them, and to bring that out to help build up their self-esteem. Charles was one of the first residents that I met. What I saw in him, which is pretty evident, is his willingness to keep trying. He's not the type of person that gives up easily, even though he may run into a wall, he may run into a difficult situation. But I think he's one of the people that's on the way to really being a positive member of society. A lot of times when people come in here, they don't have anything to grab a hold to. They've lost everything. Everything is gone, materialistic, relationships, finances, everything is gone. And they just trying to grasp onto something. And we provide that here. We provide kind of a hand and a rope for them to hold on to be able to pull themselves up. My job is to plant a seed with the time that I have with them. So what I would do is I'll plant that seed. That seed might grow, that seed might just stay where it is for a point in time and then eventually grow. So it might be, my job to plant the seed, somebody else's job to water the seed, and then, we look at just from the biblical perspective, one plants, one waters, and God gives the increase. So that's kind of my approach in it. Just planting the seed and making sure that I put something in that individual that can eventually grow.
Malik went on to say that the substance abuse program is only as good as the resources which are poured into it. And though not immediately does he see flowers bloom, the program has been invaluable to its participants. Please keep in mind Monday, February 23rd at 11 a.m. for the Dr. Wyatt T. Walker event at the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club. Dr. Walker will speak to the youth on his contribution to the book A Light Shines in Harlem and his experience with the civil rights movement, and contribute to a panel of Richmond community leaders talking about finding your legacy to youth in attendance. We hope you'll join us for that. For more information, visit salvationarmycentralva.org. This has been a Salvation Army News Update.